The U.S. says there's an urgent threat from Iran. I'm Tom Hansen, and I'll tell you what action in response the military is now taking in the region.
A 19-year-old man is behind bars with a hefty bond set after a high-speed chase that involved him getting out of the car and wanting police to shoot him down. I'm Cody Boyer with more details.
I'm Emma Hamilton reporting in Bozeman with the results from the community and the second student survey for Gallatin High's Mascot in colors.
Good morning to you and welcome to your Tuesday. We're coming right up on 6:30 here. I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman. And our top story for you here, the United States is sending an aircraft carrier group to the Middle East 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah, U.S. officials say new intelligence indicates an urgent threat from Iran. CBS's Tom Hansen has more this morning from New York.
The USS Abraham Lincoln is on its way to the Persian Gulf.
What we've been trying to do is to get Iran to behave like a normal nation.
The aircraft carrier and a bomber task force group are meant as a warning to Iran. Officials say real and urgent intelligence reports suggested Iran was plotting attacks on U.S. forces in the region.
We have continued to see activity that leads us to believe that there's escalation that may be taking place.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham applauded the move.
Iran's been a wrecking ball to the Mideast. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, you name it. They've been very destabilizing.
Others, including Democratic presidential candidate Eric Swalwell, say Congress needs more information from the Trump administration. He tweeted, "We cannot trust a lawless president to provoke war with Iran without justification."
Iran is a rogue regime.
For the past year, the Trump administration has been increasing pressure on Iran, including more stringent oil sanctions and the withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal.
We don't believe that President Trump wants confrontation.
Last month, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif blamed President Trump's advisors.
But I think the U.S. administration is putting things in place for accidents to happen.
The USS Lincoln is expected to arrive in the Middle East within the next 2 days. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
Now, Iran, according to reports in its state media, has also signaled it may start abandoning parts of the landmark nuclear deal. That could, including casting aside limits on enriched uranium as a key component in nuclear bombs.
And the search continues for the fourth and final worker still missing after a deadly explosion at a silicone plant in Waukegan, Illinois.
On Sunday, search teams recovered the body of one worker in the rubble, bringing the death toll to 3. As Liz Nagy reports, a fourth person still unaccounted for and presumed dead.
Rescuers begin peeling off layers of protective gear. It's the end of a third full day of searching. This one was frustrating. Somewhere in the rubble, a person is still missing.
We're dealing underneath an entire building, the entire structure of a building.
The mangled metal, shattered glass, and massive chunks of concrete make for a minefield of all kinds of complications.
Every time you cut a piece away, every time you pull a piece away, you have the possibility of further collapse. We don't want to destroy any evidence that may be under, and we need to do it slowly and methodically and safely for all our personnel involved.
This steel cage-like skeleton that's still standing at the intersection where AB Specialty Silicon's factory stood is a daunting reminder of the explosion.
I felt impressed on my heart to come over and actually pray.
Alan Stevens' friends and family need those prayers right now. The 29-year-old was one of 4 people who didn't make it out Friday night.
If you met Alan, you loved him. I don't know anybody that didn't like the guy. He was just a very social people person.
Waukegan's fire marshal says Alan and 3 others may have known something was going wrong and warned others to escape.
Now, officials have said the explosion appears to have been accidental, but that investigation into the exact cause will take at least a month.
So sad.
Absolutely true.
My heart goes out to his whole family.
All 4.
Yep.
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 Hey, looking at our weather, our temperatures are trying to warm up. I don't think today's it. Temperatures into the 30s. It's not bad. I do expect our highs to begin to climb, but we have some showers out there and a bit of wind, and that's going to keep things feeling cooler as you step outside. A little patchy fog in a few areas. Temperatures into the mid-50s. Again, scattered showers possible throughout the day. There's a beautiful shot in the mining city this morning. Looks like temperatures are going to be at or a little below average for today. Warmer temperatures for the weekend. We're going to break it all down in just a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. Now 6:34, a tense situation last week after a call about a possible suicidal man turned into a dangerous high-speed chase across Gallatin County.
Yesterday, that man was charged in court. MTN's Cody Boyer was there for his arraignment and reports from the route where that chase took place.
Bozeman City Police say 19-year-old Nicholas Steinman at times pushed his car to over 100 miles per hour after officers from multiple agencies eventually tracked him down near where I am standing. Now, they say situations like these are hard to predict and can change entirely in moments.
There's a risk, and that's something that we consider when we respond on these things.
Captain Dana McNeil says the risks created by Nicholas Steinman after officers found him driving erratically up Cottonwood Road only increased as time passed.
This individual made it pretty clear that he did not have much concern for our safety in terms of the way that he's operating his vehicle.
According to court documents, Steinman accelerated up to 100 miles per hour. Once, court documents show Steinman sped through a gas station parking lot, nearly hitting a deputy's patrol car. Then, at Valley Center Road, officers say he turned his right blinker on only to turn left, tearing across all 4 lanes of Jackrabbit Lane. All the while, officers followed at a safe distance.
My officers did that at great personal risk to their own safety for this individual, and I'm tremendously proud of them.
At this point, traveling southbound on Thorpe near Hulbert Road, officers say Steinman stopped, got out of his car, and faced them down. They say a situation like this can escalate even more quickly than that, and they have to be ready for it.
If we believe that somebody is armed with a firearm and then has verbalized to officers their desire to either harm the officers or force them into a position to make them harm him, then that is an extremely volatile situation and very dangerous.
Every effort, Captain McNeil says, was to reach Steinman with a simple hope, a peaceful resolution.
The vast majority of those situations are very peaceful. It's just an individual in crisis. We provide services to those individuals and put them in touch with people that can help them.
The captain adds the use of careful training paid off. While Steinman and one officer received minor injuries, no one else was hurt.
I'm very proud of my officers.
Now, according to court documents, Steinman was under the influence of alcohol and drugs during all of this. Steinman's bond was set at $150,000. Judge Brian Adams said in court, due to the concern for public safety, he will be back in court on May 24th. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Just ahead of 6:37 now, in other news, the Bozeman School Board met last night to discuss the new Gallatin High School's mascot and colors.
That's right, and MTN's Emma Hamilton was at the meeting and brings us all of those details.
The results have been released from the community and the second student survey for Gallatin High's mascot and color combination. And actually, the community and the students are agreeing on one thing. Nearly 2,800 community members responded to the survey, and for the mascot side of things, the Raptors are in favor of the community. Following the Raptors, it's the Mountaineers in close second, with the Timberwolves, Rams, and Osprey following. For color combinations, black and royal blue are overwhelmingly in favor of the community, with black and light blue in second, then black and silver, and orange and gray following. On the student survey, there was nearly 440 responses. The survey results show the Timberwolves are in favor of the students, with Raptors in second, then Rams, Mountaineers, and Osprey following. This here is where the community and the students are agreeing. For color combinations, black and royal blue are overwhelmingly in favor by the students, with black and silver in second, then black and light blue, and orange and gray following. The Board of Trustees has expressed having concerns with Timberwolves due to the possibility of it getting shortened to Wolves, which is the Three Forks mascot, and Glacier High School is the Wolf Pack. After a long discussion, the board did decide to send all 5 names and 4 color combinations back to the transition committee, with hopes that the committee can bring forth a recommendation to the board by its next meeting. Reporting in Bozeman, Emma Hamilton, MTN News.
Now, the high school transition committee meets this evening, and the next board meeting is May 20th.
In political news, a second Democrat has entered the 2020 race for Attorney General in Montana. Attorney Rafe Graybill spoke to MTN News about his candidacy. Graybill, originally from Gray Falls, and has been working for the last 2 years as chief legal counsel for Governor Steve Bullock. The other Democrat already in the race is Representative Kim Dudick of Missoula. Republican John Benyon, the current Chief Deputy Attorney General, is also running for the seat, which will be open next year because the current Attorney General, Tim Fox, has announced that he's running for governor. Graybill says the Attorney General should be advocating more for the average person on issues like prescription drugs, health care, and privacy on the internet.
The federal government passed a rule that said that big corporations can get between you and your choices. They can watch what you're doing on the internet and they can sell it for profit. Now, dozens of other states said that's wrong. That affects the way we behave on the internet and we shouldn't do it. Montana didn't. I would.
Now we're told Graybill is having a campaign kickoff event on Wednesday in his hometown of Great Falls.
Much more to follow on the politics side.
Just scratching the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have to take a quick break.